What up guys, Tensteps here live from the studio, and today we're going to dive into the project for my track Deja Vu with Sarah DeWarren. Now in the past I've done videos about stacking layers and making things sound really huge that way, but today is kind of the opposite. I'm going to show you how I used very few elements to make something sound really big. And the best example I have of that is the hook from Deja Vu. There's so few elements in there, but it sounds so nice, warm, and full. So let's jump into the project and take a look. So here's the project. I'm going to zoom in on the hook, and let's just take a listen to it real quick. So that's the hook of the song. And as you can see here, there really aren't a lot of things going on. The thing that's probably most evident to your ear is the pads. So here's what they sound like on their own. And I'll quickly just show you what each of them sound like on their own. As you can hear, they're kind of doing different things. They're both on the warmer side, but one of them kind of handles more of that mid and low mid range, and the other handles the upper register a little bit. Now from here, I could have just taken the low notes, made another low octave, and that would have handled all the low end, but I like to have a little bit more control when it comes to my bass. So all I added was a simple sub bass with a little bit of processing. Here's what it sounds like in its final form. And there really isn't much processing on there at all, but I'll quickly walk you through it. In almost all of my songs, the sub bass is processed the exact same way. I'll take a filter and filter the highs down to about 250 hertz, give or take a few depending on the song. And then I'll just cut anything below 20 hertz because you're not feeling it, you're not hearing it, it's just taking up headroom. You'll also see these two notches here that aren't doing anything. These are just frequency markers for me so that I know which frequencies match up with the key of the song. So in this case, the song is in F, so I have a marker here and a marker here, which are both Fs in different octaves. And this comes into play in the next stage of the signal chain, which is R bass. So you'll see that 87 hertz I put in here as the frequency on which the harmonic should be based. Then from there, I'll modify the intensity, and I always keep the original bass coming in. From there, it'll go into the Logic stock compressor, and I'll use the FET bass preset, which I find is really nice for sub bass, and I'll just tweak it a little bit until the settings end up where I want them. Finally, I gave it one more Pro Q3 just to boost the low end a little bit, 73 hertz and down. And that's really all there is to the bass. There's not a lot there. It sounds very clean, very smooth. Now we have the piano. The piano works really well with the pads. It just fills it out nicely, and it gives it some attack since the pads naturally have a really long attack. And there's really minimal processing here. The Pro Q3 is barely doing anything. It's just cutting off the 25 hertz and below and the 20K and above. Those are my standard settings for Pro Q3. That's on every track automatically when I open one in Logic. And this is my go-to setting for piano in Logic. I'll use the stock Logic compressor on the aggressive piano preset, and I'll tweak the threshold and ratio until it's doing what I want it to do. Pro tip, this works on 99% of the pianos that I use, and it'll probably work on yours too. And now just so you can hear it together, here's what the pads sound like with the piano. As smooth and warm and full as the pads felt before, now it's even more so, and you have the definition from the piano's attack. From there, there's only really two more elements that I added. One is these plucked chords. As they go on, I automated the filter so that they have some movement. And then in the later part, I have it filtering down. And while those are filtering down, I start teasing the lead melody with a different pluck, but that one starts filtering up. And that's about it. Like I said, it's really, really simple, but it sounds really full and really warm. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough and got something out of it. Let me know down in the comments what other topics you want to see videos on. And until next time, I'm Tensteps. Thanks for watching.